first to lock into a best-of-7 grand final here in Dallas, Texas for Team War. It's been all rainbows and sunshine until that Game 5 that they played against that Mission Magpies roster. Here, back on Red Card, the map where they lost that best-of-5 series last night. They look to strike back first against Omit.
If your Team War slower in the series, they want to wear you down over time. Omit, they rely on coming out hard, fast, swinging and smothering comeback attempts. So quite the opposite gameplay style out of either of these teams. Omit GG, you're going to expect to come out, do the things they want to in respawns behind Standy, behind Johnny, the submachine guns, really the standout players for this squad. You call it to Brack as well. Work cut out for them. They get an early bit of time for the moment. Spawns a little back and forth. Johnny will collect from the back side of things. So you're caught in the middle of your Team War. Time going both ways.
I like that rep from Standy. Trying to play from behind. Get an angle out towards the courtyard. Just keep Team War at bay for a little bit, not allowing them to get any sort of P1 time. So through ticket, Arcides will play. Trying to force his way over to P2. Another blue feed into kills. This will allow Omit to at least play this from the front. Spawns deep in the back from Team War. This is where Omit want them to be at. Problem is Yuli is still making his way all the way back across the map. Plenty of time here for Team War to muster.
You get eyes. If you're Arcides, at least going to slow down the push, but you don't expect Standy to lose the gunfight. So you're just going to chalk that up. Arcides going to try to get in the mix. Another nade over the top, whether it's across the map or in your face. You really continuously making plays for this team. Though you were pinned in the back. Able to spread the map a bit, get more time under your wings. Pinching from BS and D side, you get thwarted once again. So it pushes through a couple lanes, but they're isolated gunfights with that Team War. Making easy work of it.
30 points of difference, 2 HP. Arcides looks to challenge to the front, maybe a bit haphazard, but Johnny and Standy being able to at least push that line of Team War back just a touch. They'll be able to get in for the back 15. Across the map, you can see 6 and 7, now 8 spawning with them. So Omit will have that rotation on that next hill. Should be relatively contest heavy. I wonder what Team War will opt to do. Will they push through that street? Will they go through courtyard, or will it be a middle lamp push?
Well, with those spawns coming right in the top right corner, yeah, they're just taking the street route. They're going to take the little jog over to New, and Standy picking up an exit kill. So a pinch going to develop. Can Omit clean things up? Can they push these spawns to another part of the map, at least through parking? The read is there. The gunfight's won. Now you turn around if you're Omit.
Slowly up the staircase. Here comes 2Real, the first one in. Kind of point to him to be that bully ball player, just to push directly through the front door. That's what he likes to do. Where Yuli is that SMG will take that route to get behind you. 2Real will push that objective, get directly in your face, try to win that one-on-one gunfight, and use his movement to his advantage. He does just that. Unfortunately, though, shut down on the opposite side of things is Omit. Still players out in the front, but Team War will finally get in.
One rotation, you haven't got any convincing time behind it. Like you said, the submachine gun is just getting dicey, getting around, and making this contest heavy. As you said, it could be on rotation. So they're going to get in for the last bit of time. Uber with a quick double. They're going to try to get out of this parking side. Spawn, you've got mid-map covered. You have ticket cut off as well. Omit set up to garner themselves a fair amount of time, but you find the kill that opens up street. Those gunfights coming quickly once again.
An in through middle map. You're taking your clearance, but you've only got 2 bodies up at the moment. Diamondcom looks to at least contest on the top side. Should have Brack on a challenge here in just a moment. Takes his head off completely. Arcides, the next one up for a challenge. Long-range shots from the SMG are good. Diamondcon on 4 straight. Teammates down below. Can he find the shots on the Johnny? Backs him off just enough. But that is a wonderful break from Team War, something you don't necessarily expect within that first 20 seconds.
They haven't won rotations up until this point, but the breaks have been on point, and they've been early. Now overtaking a marginal lead. The gunfight's shaking down, favoring Omit for the moment, but expect as Diamondcom plays his life, he's going to do everything he can to buy time for his team to snap around good on Johnny as well. Finally, you get the clearance to garner more scrap time. Once again, the foot race T5 getting towards that middle, south side of the map. Going to be a 2v2 to start if you're trying to play for exit kills if you're Assault.
Scrappy and contest heavy. A map 1 on red card. Everything we expected and more. 10-point gap, spawns by the garage. De facto pinch being set up now for Team War. Assault, few shaky shots on the Brack inside a ticket. The trophy will allow him to live for just a bit longer. But as soon as Omit try to turn back around, the pinch hits through. Hill sitting clear, 15 deficit for Team War.
An all-out Assault going down just for time, and so often it's played in and around. You jump in when you can. Standy going to be the one out to 16 and 8 for the moment. 40 seconds of Hill time. Looking to push this lead further and further where they can, give themselves as much leeway and buffer against a strong Team War team. Standy, another big gunfight win. 3 for 1 in the feed. You go. The clearance through. Should be about 110 to 70 going into our second set of rotations. Team War need to tighten up, but really I'm looking at the slaying to this point.
Well, that's just the biggest haul of time that we've seen on any of the hills thus far. So what was about a tied game going into P5, Omit will extend their reach out by 43 points. Team War, though, looking to set up through middle map. ARs in power positions. Diamondcon the first blood. You can see what Brack is trying to do. But he's got a gunfight out towards the left-hand side of the stage. Doesn't spot it out just yet. Up in the middle map, Brack will finally fall. Standy also drops with Johnny trading out with the frag. It's going to be 2 throughout the middle of the map, but Team War still holding time in P1.
Now the test comes through. Standy, what can you find? Johnny playing up close and personal also. The AR's over the top, trying to pepper shots, so Brack will connect once again with more. You see them start to take spread along the map. As Team War does the same, going to be some 1v1s ringing out to be able to take. Omit's going to take the line share to start. Tubriel, the only player left. That'll be the full clearance. You have them where you want once again. That bottom portion of the map going into P2. Sure, there's still 15 seconds, so Team War will give it another hit. We'll see with RC's playing where he is. These spawns come in after.
After a hot start from Yuli, on a mid-game skid here. Dropping about 5 straight times. Hasn't been able to find much utility out of that SMG. And the lead continues to grow for Omit. You can see how far spread both sides are, just trying to muster for some power positions in the back line here. Standy, 1v1 against Tubriel, will win it. 3 dead immediately, and that's all 4 for Omit GG, so they will get good time. And this is quite the weird spawn for Team War because you're so pushed up from RCDs that you're force spawning them on that B search and destroy point. So you have 2 different wars that you have to fight here from Team War, and unfortunately none of them good.
Fantastic positioning as well. Omit hitting stride as they look to push this lead past the 70-80 point mark this turn. They won P3 rotation last go around. Team War threatened with a break and were able to get it on P2 to hold from the backside of things. No answer here for the moment. And as they're also faltering on rotation, having to focus just to try to get the last bit of time to go their way. They check that box for the moment, but Omit quickly on the retreat now that they find these kills. They got those top right spawns last time around, so Team War maybe with an opportunity now that they can work through mid-map. We'll see what they're able to formulate.
Oh, look, you know, Omit warm coming off of their last best of 5 series that they just played to put them inside of the loser finals. So Team War, benefit of the doubt where it's due. Still trying to get their guns hot. But Omit, they have been absolutely frying Team War off the map at this junction. 88 to 184, 100-point game on red card. That was so close throughout the first 4 hard points. Has completely flipped around on their way to a 1-0 lead.
Diamondcon initiating the push, leading the charge to open things up for Team War to get a little bit of time. And now, as you can see, just dancing around the point, trying to get eyes on where the next players are going to be flying in from for Omit. You've got number 2 parking side. Tubriel gets one, but from the staircase, cover fire. Good over the top. Street to take a gunfight, but 12 seconds left. Again, rotation. They just need to try to find a way to win one of these. And sure, you get out to P4, you have it for a moment, but the kill's not quite going your way. Yuli still playing slow. The counterparts of Johnny and Standy besting him for the moment.
Yeah.
They need to win these gunfights. They need to get more than substantial time here.
That's a Brack jump over the top. And you are the first one to touch on P4, but a contention over top for Yuli. Has to turn back around, gets a good read on Brack, information given from Team War. So, good chunk of time to walk away with here if you can get it all. In the middle of the reload, Standy will push his way forward. Johnny's still there on the back line. Diamondcon over the top helps out. So, it's another 3 dead. RCD's last alive at 53 HP. You're backing them down. You're getting time. The red card's not on map you want to have to come back on.
Not a lot of game clock has bled either. I mean, sure, 2 minutes, but expect this to get more contest heavy, where Omit are fine with gray time, letting that clock bleed a little more here and there. Feeling like they've set game point for the moment where they can start to get in the conversation of picking and choosing time at the ideal moments. They don't have to force themselves in uncomfortable positions. As they battle for the last little bit of scrap, this should put them at about 215, 220, and on rotation. For one of the first times, we see Omit, or excuse me, Team War, not quite the cleanest setup, but they're in position to garner time early.
Yeah, I wish I could say it was something more than just not winning gunfights, but for Team War, quite literally, it's just shaky shots on some of the fights that they're taking, and Omit is just taking the best out of it. That's how they're able to muster up the time. The slaying differential on both sides, quite jarring at the moment. At 21, Brack will look to Diamondcon inside of the hill. Still on top of it, though, is Team War over on P5. Standy looks to push his way forward with an SMG, but Diamondcon shut that push down. So efforts thwarted. Time still going the way of Team War. Definitely not impossible.
Their best effort together, their best foot forward here in the later portions to try to mount this comeback where they can. The last couple of hills, I mean, again, they start stringing things together. You just wonder if having approached the 200-point mark, at what point is it a little too late now that they can just fight for a little bit of scrap? 10, 15 points there are going to be devastating at this point in the game for Team War. So you get the clearance, you get in. That'll hit you at 220 just about. And now we go back to P1 where it gets mixy, it gets scrappy. Omit have thrived there the entirety of the game. They're going to try to put this one away here, perhaps.
It was also the late hit on P5 to where you just get full mid-map control, and that forces Team War to have to play from the courtyard and then get inside. Yuli's going to have to take a huge gunfight to get in close with the SMG inside a ticket. You're looking for the last player in Standy, 68 HP on the reach out through. The snap is good, but in the hill, it's Omit. 235-15 for the win.
Slide out, contest in, clearance. Back on the point you go. RC's up top, trying to get some hedge control. They're going to snap out, play as a team. I mean, again, they're starting these arrows, looking for these players, not leaving anything up to chance. Johnny through the back, trying to get shots, and Assault falls, but you're trying to get someone in position for a trade. 2 will get there. You get out with your life. You cleared the hill once again, still can win it here. Team War need to be careful.
Yeah, just the winner's advantage that they're playing with at the moment. Long-range shots from RCD's outside will lock down the courtyard yet again, and the push that DiamondCon had set up for himself thwarted out. But the response from Team War, at least in the middle of the map, has not been strong enough. Over to P2. It might just be too late.
5 seconds into dwindling. Last few gunfights ringing out here for the moment. A pinch possibly out of DiamondCon. Can he get this kill? He'll connect for 1.
He tries to slide for the second, so kills coming in for Team War, still holding on to P2. Lots of work to have to go around here for. RCD's on the right-hand side, picks up Yuli, 2 versus 4, all trying to fly directly through the front, and DiamondCon doesn't have a trophy system to keep himself alive. 47 HP on the challenge back. Everybody will just jump on the point. Omit, after breaking out for a 100-point lead halfway through the red card hardpoint, they will keep it on top. 250-188 in map 1.
Omit like to get out to those fast starts. We call it to it at the top of the show. They do just that. Sure, the final portions of things, a little door of opportunity that Team War take advantage of to try and get back in. But now that you get up 1-0 in a series like this is where Omit like to continuously apply pressure, try to smother, and just close this out as quick as possible. Still plenty of COD ahead of us to be played. Search and destroy. As we start to dive into that conversation, Standy going 36 and 24, mind you. You get to the conversation now that we pivot to a search and destroy. Talk of the town this weekend. What is it? Team War and search and destroy have looked nearly phenomenal.
They have. Absolutely have. And you know, kind of just to like couple the point that you and I had talked about before the show, you were very adamant just kind of talking about Standy as like the catalyst for this Omit roster, right? Like if he has a big game and if he's able to just get his footing early on in the map, it's very hard for Omit to lose games, even if the ARs maybe aren't backing up as complimentary as you'd like them to be. So for him to be able to go out, drop 36 in map 1, that you know, him playing as that catalyst role, I think you called that perfectly before we even got into the series. So just a good shout on that one. But yeah, talking about the search and destroy, this has kind of been something that Team War were kind of struggling with, especially inside of stage 2. They were 6 and 5 in the mode, only 1 positive to the good, and it just kind of felt like it was always right there, but they could never get over that hump. A lot of, you know, 6-3s or 6-4, 6-5s, but they never lost more than, you know, 3-6. Like they never were getting, you know, just absolutely smoke showed on the map. So yeah, 3-6 still isn't a great look regardless, but they've been playing close search and destroys. This weekend, that's been remedied a lot. They've been playing close game 5s. The only game 5 that they lost that knocked them down to the lower bracket was against Mission Magpies. That was around 11 at like 2 in the morning. So I don't really take too much away from that. Yeah. It's late night decision making, and there were a few plays that Team War made, especially one where 2 real pushed out when he should have just wrapped back to plant the bomb in a 1v3. That allowed a Henry 1v3, and that completely changed the scope of the game for the early portions of that search and destroy. So yes, Team War have been good, but there were some misplays yesterday that need to be corrected today.
And they're looking like they're on pace to make that happen. Again, a late rally, but showing that, okay, yeah, you called it. The Omit guns coming out hot, just coming off of a series. You start to see that when a team comes in, I mean, quote unquote, cold into a match, and for them to get going in the back half of a hard point, okay, we've seen that time and time again. The search and destroy looking like one, they're really confident in getting their get back against Omit. And we talk about Team War wearing you down. The counterpoint to that statement is going to be Omit weathering the storm, just withstanding. Though search and destroy is the slower mode, you have to just weather round by round what Team War are going to throw at you.
They tried to shut our producer off the grid, but we said no. We have to have a map 2. Omit, Team War, yet to play the Search and Destroy, loading into a Hacienda for map 2 now. We will be on a Hacienda for Control. That is at least our guaranteed 3 in our best of 5 map set here in the lower finals. Omit up 1-0. A steamrolling hardpoint over Team War. Was it the fact that they weren't able to get warmed up all too properly? Was it the fact that Team War just didn't have enough for what Omit GG were throwing at them? At least for the early portions of the going here in the Search and Destroy. Rights being wronged, wrongs being righted here by Team War. It was Diamondcon who opened up with the first blood. 2 real falls shortly after. 3 versus 2 now as Team War once again retakes the man advantage.
You're just going to opt to play objective at this point while you have the chance to. And small window to get through. On the cross, you get spotted. I believe Yuli catches them. So you're just going to commit to the flank. Johnny will pick Yuli. So that's where his last push is coming from. I don't know that they're going to get a read on it.
I don't think that they do. Johnny will go up through middle map, though, and Brack will turn tail as well. But did Diamondcon spot out both of these players, and they are on the chase. Assault behind. Finally, Brack will get caught off. But now as Johnny looks to slide back, throws a shoulder. Semtech's going to be tossed out to prevent anybody from encroaching on him and closing the distance. Deep challenge out, but Diamondcon laying down. And his teammate over the top to help out will be good enough for the team shots on the final player from Omit. So Team War will strike first here in the S&D.
Reading the round for Diamondcon. Opens up with the first blood, final kill to close things. Route play, good call. Simply put, fast enough to develop that. You see Yuli Stairs don't get the read on it working through P2 as fast as they go, and sure, it turns into a high-paced pursuit. But they walk away with the round nonetheless.
Well, a name that we really haven't mentioned for Search and Destroy has been Diamondcon. Been kind of quiet in the Search and Destroys where the slang is regarding. Early on in the round here, proves to be massive for the first round for Team War on the board. We'll drop down low, waiting for maybe somebody to push through on Omit for secret. But doesn't realize that top open is going to be the destination for a few of these Omit players. Just lying in wait. B is the objective for the offense. Yuli pushes up. Might try to spot somebody out boathouse.
Over to back these players up and give Standy a chance through stairs, but 2 real bests him in that moment. I'm not working down just yet. They're seeing if they can get a couple more of these players to get aggressive. You're seeing what Johnny can find also. That will be a kill. The rebound coming through towards the A side of things. Yuli on the chase as well. Johnny will get another 2 versus 2.
Now 1v. All left alive is Johnny. Backed all the way up the map and with 3 HP. Assault will be able to stay alive up top secret. He's got help down below from Yuli. And those are the rounds that Team War will live in and thrive in every single time. You give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
And just teamwork the first 2 rounds. No one really playing on an island for more than 10-15 seconds trying to get info, maybe a quick gunfight, but offensively, defensively, the transitions across the map have been players working together. They've been so strong in Search and Destroy this weekend. You cannot overstate it.
Nope.
Here they get out to an early and quick lead on Hacienda. Back on the offensive attempt. Omit gonna try to maybe make an adjustment here. And yeah, looking through mid-map, they might be leaning A for the moment.
You don't spot Arcades out top secret though just yet. But finally you'll get the information. And this is going to force Assault to press up. The first blood will be in the hands of Yuli. As a team nade unfortunately lands in secret and now forces the man advantage into Omit's hands. 3 versus 2. Assault forced to jump away. Diamondcon back. So the AR is still alive here for Team War.
Free plant. Omit will take that every day. Now you start to see a split from Team War on their push. Johnny going to play the flank. The rest of your players going to sit in sight. But now, just a waiting game. Omit a great push plant.
Oh, Assault weakens up Standy with 10 HP. Can't force the challenge down just because Diamondcon hadn't worked his way forward just yet. Arcides playing a cheeky corner. Will be able to walk away with it. Now you have information on where Assault will be laying for the final kill in middle map. So, Omit maybe didn't find the first blood in the round, but a team kill that came in from Assault's frag grenade onto Yuli allows them to go on top of the man advantage 3-2.
Precisely what I was going to call to. Team War 3 for 3 on first bloods end up falling in the round, and yeah, you've got to mention that team kill might have a hand to play in that. But they take the free route to B, mid-map giving you opportunities to segue from site to site. Omit take advantage, take care of business in the man disadvantage. Now get themselves 1 on the board.
Three-one split for Team War here. Couple gonna try and get the top secret. That's a hard gunfight for Assault to be able to slip away from. Had 2 players from Omit looking directly over the top. So if you pick that player off, now it's going to force a 3v4 on the site. A retake very imminent here. Yuli will get the bomb down. Or at least I thought he was going to get the bomb down. Unfortunately, it's just a full wipe. It's a flawless round from Omit after the first blood.
Quick lapse. Nothing crazy to say about it. You still try to stick the plant while you maybe have a chance. That was really going to be the only play for you after losing a couple quick bloods. Johnny's on it. He'll clean up a couple kills, close that one out, all tied up.
Once again, looking standy. 3 in a row. Pair that with 2 and 2 from Arcides and Johnny. You've got a recipe for success on Omit side. Offensive round. Really look to take this over to A. Not a lot of bodies stacked up through middle map this time. So if Team War were to push into secret, they would have the upper hand advantage and the high ground on the A site. Standy wanting to push his way forward. Nothing spotted out towards the top side of plat. I think Johnny may have gotten information that a couple are there. Large spread from the defense. Offense gets the bomb A.
Arcides gets great calls. He sees at least one player shouldering rock, so he's going to back up as the full rotation is in. It's going to be on him to thwart any kind of flank coming in. RC car going to get invested as well. Standy on the chase. Hard to tell what kind of info he got, if any, but still a 4v4 brawl on site.
Just say it's a big time waster too, because Bracken turned back around. All of a sudden, it's 2-2 that go both ways. 2 versus 2 back on the A site. Diamond Con, long range. Julie finds Arcides. And now as you find that last player alive here, it's a 1 versus 1. Diamond Con, 46 HP, and Bracken just play his life all the way on the opposite side by the well. He can push his way forward, just has to check with about 6 seconds left. Diamond Con wins the gunfight, gets away without the bomb exploding, but it's another round win for Omit. 3 straight for them. They take the first lead for themselves in this search and destroy.
You won a round, despite getting blooded. You take the next 2 rounds, winning the first blood, Alex. I think it tells a little bit of the story here. How influential those are, especially with teams as good as Omit and Team War.
Sure.
Standy, Johnny, submachine gun players that really dictate the pace for the squad out to a fantastic start. On the other side of things, Diamond Con, you called to it early. Stepping up to the plate, rising to the occasion for the moment. Who else can he get? Step up with him.
And a lot of unfortunate timings for Assault on these first bloods that have been able to find, especially routes to the middle of the map. But the defense gets top secret control. They have the high ground. Standy ripped off. Arcides gone. Diamond Con now on 5 in a row. 8 and 3 instead of the game, and 2 real will get aggressive onto Johnny. 1 versus 3. Brack the last man alive.
I wouldn't want to peek this either. I'm just trying to see if he can get a freebie to run across towards bomb. He will. I like the trigger discipline, but depends. The rewrap should be through, or maybe not. He gets out with his life, so bomb will go down, but he's able to reposition for free.
You isolate one of the 1v1s that you absolutely had to have. So what is the dictated play here for Team War? On the post plant, you're going to have both of them wrapping back to the tin side. Spalt was spotted out, but doesn't realize that he had a little sneaky man coming from behind him. So 3-3 we go.
First gunfights, when they ring out, went quickly. But Brack gives his best attempt at a clutch. And Team War getting back to how they found success the first few rounds, right? Playing together, running around in pairs. And that's what closes out the round for them.
Nil-nil. Essentially the case here. Short sprint to the finish line, but a lot of work to do for either side. As Standy has the bomb. This is the first time that Omit are really going to look to hit over on this B site early on in the round. 2 will hit top open. Assault and Diamond Con forced to back all the way up, and this is going to give them full clearance on this B zone. However, it's a hit from middle map. Brack, gunfight against Yuli, loses it. Arcides also falls, and Standy immediately is dead. It's a flawless round from Team War, and that's a play that you like out of Omit. It just crumbles.
Behind the first blood, it really does, and have a map. 10 and 4 for the young man. As it's quick on the retake before bomb even goes down. Not bad at all, just better out of Team War.
Take a large meal with the DC. In this case, we're talking Diamond Con, 10 and 4. Over double positive, into double digit territory. We called on Yuli at the beginning of the series to be the leading force in the search and destroy, but you will take anybody on this Team War roster to step up and give them the catalyst that they need to succeed in map 2. 4 through middle map, 3 over to the B site. This time it's Team War on the offense who have the B site cleared out for themselves. Will it be a full collapse through middle like Omit just saw on their defense?
Back the bomb planner off, so at least you bought yourself time for the moment. The reposition working through P2. Now DiamondCon leading the charge through well. No one really here to watch this cross. Sure, you have Standy maybe watching the push through stairs or wrap through P1. No good eye secret, but again, he's late to DiamondCon. He's through.
Oh, but did Standy get information that one's below? Inside of you, he absolutely did. 4 versus 3, not pushing the agenda forward. It's too real. Loves to play that first gunfight directly through the front, but his Arcity is going to get good timing. Backed off was his teammate. And oh no, Assault will drop on the opposite side. 1 versus 2. Yuli isolates the first gunfight.
He's trying to get this bomb down, trying to see if he could pick a 1v1 before that happens. Isn't going to be able to. Finds one, but just great position, great timing to be able to swing that together. Not throw that round away. This one, Alex, could not be playing closer.
I mean, you think he slides across that doorway through middle map half a second earlier, Yuli might be able to find a timing on Brack. And then you know that at least one's playing over by checkers because that's where your teammate Assault died at. This time it doesn't happen. No miracle theatrics from Yuli. A hush falls over the battlefield once again. 4-4 we go.
No crazy clutches. Nothing too run-of-the-mill, just teams making mid-round adjustments to best one another, and ultimately the story of what we've seen. Slow and methodical to start for Omit. Too real, maybe trying to get out of secret. That's where his next move wants to be, and I think he's got the info.
Oh, he knows that Sandy's there. I thought I got shaky for a moment. But you connect on the first blood, and do you try to get aggressive in top hall? Brack knows usually here. And through the rock wins a big 1v1. I thought he was sure dead to rights. Instead, they're back out on B. Clearance here. Team War gonna force to wrap.
Trying to put the timing on your submachine guns. Assault will pick one from dockside. And now you have numbers to collapse on site. You're laying down. Oh my god. The patience, the shots, shaky. Your teammate slides out. Johnny's gonna pair for the second. And you know where Assault's going to be. Not sure where he could rewrap from. Bomb still not having gone down. Omit going to collect. He spotted out. Ready for the gunfight. Assault. Going to get out with his life as well.
22 HP. Oh my goodness, Adam Assault. So weak. Had no right to chow that out. But that's really only the play that you can make there if you're Brack. You did everything right to set up the first one, forced a 2v1, but you just had no time to plant because Assault would have been able to catch you out on the timing.
Whew. Back against the wall. He said, I mean, that really was his only play. Brack tries to read the 50-50. Shoulders back out the same side, takes the gunfight 1 versus 2. Said there were no crazy clutches to this point. Well, Assault will give you one to put you on map point.
And that's what you need if your Team War down 0-1 to this Omit roster. Grand finals looming for one of these teams. Top 3 placement for the other. Johnny will push all the way up into P2. Flank starting to develop early in the round. Standy, good timing on 2 real. Bodies dropping early for Team War.
The assault continues. No pun intended, as Omit will take a hefty life advantage. At least you still have bomb. You're hearing some noise above you. Johnny gonna get timing behind, but the sub up close. Yuli cleans that up 10 times out of 10. 2 versus 3. You've weathered things for the moment. Quiet we fall, and again, patience being played. Yuli trying to play for a route that's just not gonna come. Omit playing disciplined here.
So you bait out one with the audio cube. You take down the flanking player. DiamondCon might be able to get this bomb down because Omitter played so far back, and now you're going to force the wrap all the way back boathouse. So Arcides will make his way forward. Brack will be here, 3 versus 2. Omit might try to play this through the middle.
And do they play together is going to be the question. You've seen what happens when you isolate 1v1s and give them the Team War. Just playing secret and around P1, they aren't taking any kind of routes up top to clear this out. Going to be such a hard gunfight to take now. Brack on the move.
2v odd for the map. DiamondCon evens it. Now 2 versus 2. Varsity spots one out up top. 17 seconds left. Standy wins one. What
Gotta
does
go get
Yuli have in store for this final push? 12 seconds left. Wants to go through the top. Wallbang shots are there. Has to reach it out. You need to go for the kill. You find it on the bomb. Yuli finds both of them. Team War take map 2.
Needed one, got the double. And I want to know how close that was for Standy. Because he was well over halfway through the fuse. And just RCD's you shoulder shimmy. I think if you stay put, I know you're maybe trying to keep tabs on where Standy is behind you, making sure you cover all your bases, but whew, just sidesteps a little too far, gives enough shots to connect on the headshot to finish Standy off. We've got a series. I mean, we're not shocked.
No, we are not.
But we're having fun.
I mean, Ulysses in a 1v2 clutch there. I mean, credit to Diamondcom where credit's due. Finds the first to even give them a chance at that 2 versus 2 at the end. You find the trade out. I thought they were going to be doing enough to think, hey, just be the bullet sponge, tank the shots in front of me. I'll be good to get the defuse. And it was, just that close off. See the scope of that search and destroy one more time. First Bloods reigning supreme. Pretty much every round that Team War was able to win, they got the First Bloods. And then that final one where they just hand shook those final few kills. And the lineup from Ulysses gives them enough to tie the series up at 1 apiece. And I can't, state heavily enough that search and destroy where Team War have been good all weekend was something that they absolutely needed against Omit. And here's why. Control has been a pain point for Team War throughout the tournament. Even inside of stage 2, it was a bit shaky. They started off playing it really, really well, but towards the end, especially in playoffs, when they started playing Cabal, Royal Spartans, and Omit Brooklyn, that's when it faltered, and that's when they kind of fell apart and crumbled. It would ultimately, I don't want to say maybe led them to a 3rd place finish, but it's part of the overall picture. Here this weekend, we've seen a lot of a lot of round 5s in the Control that are usually defense, 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 and then an offense to win it at the end. Team War has been able to slip through the cracks a few times behind gameplay from Yuli, and I kind of hate to just keep hitting on it, but throughout the Elite in stage 2, he had a 1.4 KD in Control and led everybody inside of the Elites throughout the entire stage. So yeah, he's a monster when it comes to Control. They just need everybody to step up behind him. Yeah,
they really do. And talking to the Catalyst and speaking to that, Search and Destroy, another mode, but Standy, of course, who you want to put eyes on to make a bounce back once we get back to Respawn. Johnny playing in tow as well. They're playing well off of one another. It was a Search and Destroy where you got bested, simply put. You've had good plays at moments. That's why you were able to get 4 rounds on the board. But Team War showing, again, why they are the most dangerous Search and Destroy threat here at this Open. They feel confident going to Control. Omit has to feel good. You just talked to the pain point of Team War. So, Respawn's bread and butter. You want to smother. You played the Search close, but this is where Omit find themselves in their wheelhouse. This is where they want to put the series away.
And how many times have we seen already Omit come down from 0-2 deficits in Controls to take that map 3 and give them a series advantage?
Earlier this morning.
At least 2 or 3 times that we saw just in the series beforehand. So this Omit roster is very good at the Control game mode. And I know I said that Yuli had the top KD. I was actually lying. He has the 2nd best KD. 1.55 from Brack in the Control for Stage 2. That doesn't take into account this weekend, but that's the regular season and the playoffs for him as well throughout the entirety of Stage 2. To be playing at that level that consistently and be dropping at 1.55, that is nutty. Very, very nutty stuff. So we'll see what Omit has for him going into this Control here. But I do want to just, kind of point out that this Omit roster in their respawns throughout the entirety of this Major 2 run that they've had here for the Optic Texas Open, they have been consistent against every single team that they have played. The only team, when they dropped down to the lower bracket that they, kind of struggled against, they still were playing their respawns in a very tight-knit way, and the fashion was oh so good.
Omit no strangers to being tested. Team War the same. Call to swing mode, the pivot point that could really push a series one team's way. Favoring one here. The other with some struggles, but on paper we lay out what all we have in front of us this weekend. We even have plenty to talk about here, but when it truly is do or die time, especially for a spot in grand finals, who knows what could happen. Sure, the series has, I guess to this point, gone how we've expected. So I think there's a lot of emphasis here for a change-up, a curveball to be thrown. We said, look, if Team War can extend this series, the odds favor them. That map 5 feels like if we get there, we're golden. The 2 respawns that you have to play, one being your weakest game mode, just have to be focused on what's in front of you. Sure, map 5 would be fantastic if Omit find a way to take another respawn, but I can't stress enough for Team War, how big
Yeah.
a potential Neslo could be for them.
I mean, even though, like, you know, technically speaking, yes, Control is Team War's statistically worst game mode throughout this weekend, they're still damn good at it. And same thing can be said about Omit, so it should be kind of a bang out regardless. But Hacienda is one of these maps where you put your contestant SMGs and allow them to get behind. I look to Standy, I look to Yuli on both of these two teams to be able to push the agenda into the spawn side, just cause chaos, allow themselves to thrive of getting lost, and then being able to, again, do that all over and over and over every single round that they play, cutting off players from spawns, being able to get behind on an objective capture, whether you're on offense or defense. Those are the things that are going to win you this game, and that's why the SMG presence in Black Ops 6 is so crucial, because the Jackal's the god gun. The flanks that you can take in Control can be devastating with how far you spawn across the map from some of these objectives, especially on Hacienda. This one should be a banger, but for Team War, taking that search and destroy, single biggest thing they could have done for themselves.
Taking care of business, both sides of the coin. Omit. Thriving, loving respawns. As we've called to time and time again. You called out the submachine gun players for either side of things. Of course, the big names of Standy and Yuli. Don't expect to be surprised when, again, a Brack, you talk to his KD. Don't expect a Diamond Con to slow down and try to hit form here. The main ARs you think of over, you know, to Assault or Arcades. We know at any time any four of these players can step up, but I'm looking to those flex type players to also kind of make things known. You know, the submachine guns on this map have a big role to play and kind of get their playground, but ARs at a moment's notice can really put things away for either side of things. So you can call to anyone and they could really have their moment, but primarily, yeah, let's check out these subs and let's see what they can bring early.
Out towards the rock side. Standy wanted to maybe slip the net, get through to the spawn side, start a spawn trap on Team War, and yet again, Assault will take out Turil in a display of utility usage gone wrong. Good news is at least you've cleared off the B zone now, so this will be a force spawn of Omit all the way deep because you had Yuli pushed so far up rock side. Standy should get spotted out and Shout and will be by Diamond Con. AR will win it up close. 3 lives already, the advantage here on the defensive end. Johnny might have just got the timing through mid.
But unfortunately, he's the only one. And you just haven't had a concentrated push. Sure, it's early in the round-ish, but as half the time has gone away, they're just really not going to put too much toward this in a couple players, but they know the emphasis has to be the team's going to try to wrap through well. They're going to try to get back together this way. They can turn the guns forward. Two-Real's going to find a couple, and you know that no more than 2 have crossed lines. Now just 1 more player. So they're playing, it's not crisis mode. They just know they can pick and choose the gunfights where they want, work these players off spawn, and that's exactly what they've done to this point.
They can't, but like the play from Johnny there was the correct play. If L3 go down, you have to get on the zone and start forcing bodies from Team War to have to force the contention back on there because they don't want to lose a tick. They lose 1 tick, all of a sudden you get a forward down, and then Omit is on the point, adding an extra minute to the rest. Right now, though, 10 life differential. Now make it 12.
Gunfight. Yeah, you
bodies
can't
are
lose a
getting dropped
gunfight.
across the map.
Doubled up in lives. Assault on a 5 spree out to 7-1, Two-Real 7-1. But again, you've only lost 8 the entirety of the round. Just wonderful management, not only of time, but of understanding where players are on the map, how many have gotten through, and always had a couple players spawn side. So Team War, a masterclass here to kick off on defense.
I mean, when you get a good first break that goes your way and you've already dropped 3 bodies, and then all you have to worry about is 1 slipping over to B, you send 2 bodies forward. As long as they win 1 or 2 gunfights, you keep that spawn trap marinating. And then Yuli being so far pushed up on that rock side, it's going to force them to spawn all the way deep back in the base side spawn where you start the round at. So, I mean, it's just a hard gunfight to break out of, regardless of where you take it. Lots of places to get lost. Lost a lot of headies that the defense can take. So going on 5 in a row for the first round. Two-Real and Adam Assault pairing for a 14-3 round. All of Team War feels happy.
You've got more than Omit combined. Individually as Assault and Two-Real. Diamond Con, the attack still being problematic. In the opening moments of these rounds, Omit, you want to take advantage of it where you can. Who is it? Johnny, aggressive. Already trying to push across the map. Pick off a couple of these players. You have a couple pinned secret, so pressure falls to Brack to at least find 1 here if he can before Johnny can get back in the play. A little bit of madness. You're fine with that if you are Team War, but now as you start to sort things on your end for Omit, they can start to take shape.
I mean, up until the point where Standy falls there, it was perfect to the first 5 gunfights that everybody on Omit had taken. That's what I talked about for the first round, that opening break. But you basically give up all of the vineyard. You want to take space in middle map and try to push the objective to the spawn side. But with Assault being able to find the catalyst of Johnny, that's one of your flank players dead. Now Brack has to force his way through top secret. He's been spotted out, so somebody should be on a prowl for him. On the B zone, halfway through the first tick of progress. You can't find him just yet. Yuli turns around, finds a second with the help of DiamondCon. They've got 2 bodies versus 2 here. Arcides in the window is now forced to back all the way off. The contestation in from Johnny tries to find his way through. But the mid-map, they go. Team War might try A.
You don't give up that first tick, which is huge, because you got stunned so sharply on your offensive attempt. Less than 30 seconds working towards this tick on A. You said they might regroup, make this push, and they do. So they get rewarded for it. Now you start seeing collapse working out of Omit. Good timing on the gunfight for Arcides. Assault trying to work these players as well. Favorable position. I really like where Standy's playing. He should be able to get this kill quickly, or so I thought. Yeah, there at least comes through for the moment.
You get the deep 2 spawns. But instead of going directly to A, you fly through middle map with the clearance that you were given. You get out to B, so you've got 2 bodies stacked on it. You have to look for 2 Real, who's up inside of office, who could play these players coming off a spawn. Although you have Standy on a flank, it might not matter. You've already lost 2 ticks. And they've got 2 bodies stacked on it. Yuli will chase on the fro. Johnny dead. Into the back end. Standy should get spotted out and will be. Yuli finds it. Minute added. 3 ticks gone.
Standy finds some, but yeah. Wasn't back in the play and weren't quite aware of how many and how quickly they could have stacked that point. You already have 1 done over at the A side of things. RCD chases the player out of bounds, able to clean that up. So the bottom side of the map secured. Team War slowly gathering reinforcements for their next push. Lying in wait, playing back for the moment is going to be Omit. There's the eyes, there's the backup. Here comes the help.
You have got 3 through closed hall right now that you have to take care of if you're Brack, but you get the read as 2 Real slides across to the open side. Standy once again playing the contestation, but Yuli reads it out well. It's a double the kill that comes in for retaliation from Omit GG. 3-2. Team War get the trades this time through. Brack will find 1 down below inside of you. Walk away with the gunfight win, but on A. Close to that second tick. Finally, help arrives from the spawns from Omit. They can push Team War back to the spawn.
More favored the south side of the map, and that's really what Omit have given them to this point, making sure that, okay, we really want to give them 1 lane to push through, make sure we're taking care of everything else, make the reads very easy. Less than 30 seconds once again. Not much progress barring that early first tick at A, but with Yuli opening up with a couple more kills, this allows Team War to get in position to pounce.
Oh, but look at Johnny on to 2 Real. He was just waiting for everybody to come off spawn, and now he's going to be forcing a flank yet again. This is going to force Yuli to get out of the point. He has to play for these 2 players that are top office, and with 9 HP, he's got 10 seconds to really make something work. Coming off the spawn now. I don't think Johnny's going to read that somebody's coming through the top side of office. With the kills just lining up in front of them, and just not an ability to contest on that A point, Omit will retaliate with an offense, or excuse me, a defense of their own. We are tied at 1 apiece on Hacienda.
4-tick advantage, something we'll keep in the back of our mind as this looks to go on. Life advantage to this point also favoring Team War fairly decently through 2 rounds. But Omit played that A site well, especially on opening break. You said opening gunfight's perfect. The B site they let get away from them. But they regroup back on A. They do a fantastic job to shut that round out, so you stay alive. And now we go even once again.
Defense for defense. 13-6 leads the lobby for Yuli. DiamondCon, slow start, 5-11. Omit on the opposite side, still trying to get some of their guns hot. He looks to Brack with an AR to hold down the middle of the map. Arcides is able to spot out 1. Assault and Yuli trying to push the issue forward. 2 Reals there for it. And that is a 3-for-1 early on. Last player out towards the vineyards. That's going to be Brack by his lonesome. And he should be spotted out from behind here momentarily. Absolutely will be. 73 HP to his name, and a spawn trap starting as Omit are all funneling to the top side of the staircase.
Snap almost good. Runs out of ammo. And the opening breaks haven't been good for Omit offensively. They just haven't been able to get anywhere that causes problems for Team War. They don't have to scramble back to any of the sites. And again, just this is where you get into some situations where individual players start challenging things. You get picked apart. Team War knows how they want to play it in these moments. And with time already at the 30-second mark, something's got to go, something's got to give. Omit have to make a play.
That's a good luck to Johnny. As he's coming up the staircase, Yuli will just lay in wait. The Brack has done enough to clear that south side of the map out, so they got 2 players stacked on this B zone. 24 seconds left here in the round to try and capture a few ticks. Want to at least equal what Team War were able to get on their offense attempt the last time through. And as Yuli spotted out towards the top side of Secret, he will finally get peppered up and wall banged out. Possession in from Diamondcon. Players, bodies, still here from Team War on defense. Trades on top of it as Brack backside boathouse spawn, 2 ticks in.
But race back over to the hill. You want top flat control. Standy putting emphasis on it. Does he win the gunfight? Answer, yes. Is he ready for the second one? He is, but doesn't take it. Too real. Or take a progress. Working in. The collapse has to be quick.
Jumping on the zone. They finally will take every player from Omit off of it. But you still have Papa Alec, who's alive up top. As Yuli play it through Secret. As they play it around the opposite side, the timing doesn't go his way. And once again, one of these Omit players will slip the net inside. Spotted out one. Diamondcon will play to the outside of the fence. Will they go back into Do-Si-Do motion? Diamondcon, 2 real, pair for 2. Team War gets it. Johnny, the last one here. They are just trying to flood their way and force the issue up the map. Can they touch on A before that game clock expires? The answer is yes. But Team War on the read and the response in middle map will win yet another defense.
No give whatsoever on the map. Only 2 ticks progress due to offensive attempts. Just not going to bode well going into a round 5, but hey, they have to get there first. But crazy things happen in the late portions of this control. The defense just, I mean, stout through and through for Team War. You can't really gripe it much.
Game point for Team War. Offense has not been kind to either of these rosters. Whether it be on the back end of the opening gunfights. Whether it be just trying to force to one site, neglecting the other. Can Team War manage something different on this offensive round and close out this control? 2 real on the prowl. Gets through U. All the way over to B. Spotted out. Wallbangs could be there. 20 HP. He has to survive with a little bit of help.
Really gonna back the player down Secret. Not before Standy connects. Team need comes through, but not before you clear just about everyone off this B side. 2 real. Having a great map. Gets traded out, so that pressure going to be worked down for the moment. Standy on the flank through well. Going to get red to the players off spawn. Assault in a position where he might be able to wrap a pinch as well.
Not only wrap a pinch, but he might be able to find one off spawn. Standy's going to be none the wiser to it, but they're going to dance around the pillar. Slows down Assault and what he wants to do in the backline. This gives time for Omit to clear off the B site. Last one here is 2 real on 2 in a row. 72 HP, has a challenge coming in from the backside. But he has a little bit of time to work this around. A tick of progress would be joyful for himself, but unfortunately it's just 2 different players from a couple of angles pushing in from Omit. But on the A site, Team War look to pounce.
Slide out the check. Good out of RCDs. Take that kill. Gonna force the player to work through well side. Just sit outside of time for the moment. These next wave of gunfights going to be critical for Team War to take if they want progress, if they want real estate around the map. It's going to be a rock side push. Yuli gets one, gets out. And now as you're spawning P2, everyone for Omit controlling the south side of the map.
There's just not a lot of pressure through middle map. Arcades was pushed up into the spawn, and you had Brack playing the top side of Office. But they are okay with just hiding themselves. Not allowing anything to be seen for the offense. But Assault, once again, pushes into the back line. Been so good at that here on this Hacienda control. With them on the B site, he's got help into the vineyard. 2 real, though, ripped. 6 in a row for Alec.
Wallbang shots, trying to pepper up, trying to collect for another. Knows the player's top secret, about to swing out and does, but Brack able to get the cleanup on the player outer fence.
Diamondcon 1v1 versus Brack. Doesn't want to chow just yet. And as Yuli comes from the top side of Office, he gets collapsed upon by Johnny, but it's enough to allow Team War and into the zone. 1 player still here, trying to push top Office. Assault once again shut down from the back end of spawn. Standy wins the 1v, but so does 2 real. Inside is Arcades for a trade. Now you have to get on A. Yuli sitting, laying down, and wait for a contestation. Standy, the contestation player, knocked off by Diamond.
2 players in the feed, still staying alive, still trying to buy time for his team. You have Prezer, you have Presence. Now 1v2.
Just not enough time to drop down. Too many bodies from Omit. But I think the single biggest thing there is you get that second tick in the round with that tick on A. So maybe you weren't trying to play for the win entirely there, but those small victories are going to give you a defense in this final round 5 of control. You just hope the offensive curse doesn't come true. Team War in a good position, at least on paper.
We'd have to see a 180 out of Omit on offense. I think Team War definitely imposing their will defensively, so it's not really any crazy self-inflicted wounds or bad plays out of Omit. Sure, you'd like to see some gunfights go their way off the break, but they need this opening break to go their way, even if it's just 1 tick, even if it's No progress, but presence on the map. Something's got to give for him here to start.
They're gonna hit 3 top. And I like this play a lot. But unless you keep giving bodies up early, you are not gonna have any different fares on this offensive attempt. Yuli down low, dips back in. Arcides at 26 and 16 on another 3 spree. Trying to work his way up the map as much as he can. Nobody here to help him out though. But he can do the solo work. He's got one off the zone and help. Now finally arrives.
Player top flat, you got to make sure you take care of that. Your teammate gets the player outer, so now you can focus. As they hop down, no wall bang in yet, but trying to hunt for Yuli, the pinch out of 2, real fantastic. How good have these subs been off of one another? Brat can't make magic happen with the pistol. The clearance through, another 2-piece for Yuli. They're pushing through Rockside. They know this where the next gunfights are coming from.
Oh, Alex slides in. Hipfire shots are good for the first. You get traded out, but on top of it are Omit. They win a 2v1 in middle map. Now looking back over towards Rock. Rack just trying to get some pressure up there on the A zone. Clock stalled out at 41.
Omit's just trying to force some things, and now with the clock playing unfavorably, they keep trying to get to B, not necessarily taking what the maps give them, but they also haven't been able to take much for themselves. Half a tick towards A, 2 players on it. The first tick should be good in a moment. If you can win these gunfights, that's been the biggest pain point for them. Standy opens up with 1 and keep the player in Diamond 10 top flat. And now this progress is starting to really go for you.
Yeah, the read on the turnaround from Assault. But you still got players dancing around on the objective. Congestion was in, but Diamond maybe a bit too early, jumps over the top set of rails. But a snap onto Arcides, rips his head off. Team War spawned close. Plat control, the objective for the lonely Standy.
I'd like to see a couple bodies on A. When these gunfights jump on the point, that's what I want to see for Omit.
Get the timing around office. Where is this push coming from Team War? You've got 2 players up top, nobody hitting through you. Maybe you look to 2 real to try and hit through Wine, but he wants to wrap around a Rock. Flank comes in. 2 players drop on the side of Omit and another dead. Last alive, Alec once again in middle map. He slips out to B. He's got behind a few people. Knows that he might be able to get on.
Finds a kill, wraps back, but top plat going to be the problem for him. Can he win the gunfight? Your teammates won it on the south side. You really have committed to this B point. A, no longer in question.
You just have to stay alive here, though, if you're Alec. And as Assault flies into the point, he also finds Brack. Last player in from Standy. Can you get there if you're 2? Johnny, you have to go massive. Turns around, but it's not enough. Team War win the final defense. 5 straight defenses. 3 for Team War, 2 for Omit. 2-1 up in the series. 1 map away from a grand finals appearance.
Low burn. Chip away, and that's what Team War have done here. Big map 3 win, turning things around this weekend. Completely different complexion out of the squad. And I look, nothing crazy but domination. Sure, you're able to force it, but looking at the defenses, it was really strong out of Team War. Omit, it took time. They were able to survive, but it just felt like that's all they were doing was surviving, where Team War on the other side of things were in control. So not too much to point to it there. No crazy insane performances. Alec we were calling too, but it wasn't enough. The rest of the team playing a little too slow, and we'll kind of pivot towards map 4 now, which I believe is Skyline. You look back to the subs, that's just who you have to call to for the rest of the series.
I mean, you do, but like I do kind of just want to marinate on that control for a moment, because like on those defenses from Team War, the reason Omit weren't able to get anything up the map is because, simply put, they weren't able to get around to the office or the top side of flat. Team War weren't trying to necessarily play it directly from the front or like contest it from the tin side. They were more concerned with sending bodies through secret every single time, or making a wrap through the backside and coming from the off angle of well. And when you have a dynamic like that where the SMGs can find 1 or 2, or you have Assault who can pull out that SMG and be complementary and have a 3rd one out on the map on some of those defensive rounds, that's when things start to shift up a little bit. Same thing can be said for Omit, though. They just got the worst of the draw because, well, they just didn't capture enough ticks on their offensive rounds. But, I mean, it's standard stuff. You see defense for defense a lot of the time on Hacienda. It can be very hard to contest those zones, and as this map has played deeper and deeper into a lot of teams' pools and control, you know that it's going to be a war all the way out to the end. You know you're probably going to have to win 2-3 defenses in order to take the Hacienda. If you can slip an offensive round through, cool, but Team War were on top of everything that they needed to be. They were just putting 2 bodies and double stacking where they needed to, not taking too much attention away to also be able to play the middle of the map.
And Omit never got a chance for a crazy kind of route from their subs either. You didn't see offensively anyone slip through the back to get dockside. It was Team War at moments that were able to do that offensively. You just never got the pressure far enough up the map. B was the furthest you really ever got. Sure, you play Office and Plat, but that's still favoring the B site. You don't get eyes on the players running off spawn. So you couldn't quite get to the places you wanted if you were your subs. That just put a lot of pressure on the ARs to go big, which they did. It just wasn't quite enough. Again, you just managed everything so well for Team War.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, you definitely did. And, I mean, you look to 2Real again, going into a Skyline hardpoint. If we haven't talked about submachine guns enough, hey, get ready to talk about them even more. They're going to be the ones who are flipping out the map. Going back to the conversation we talked about at the top of the show, who to watch for on each of these rosters. Let's start with Team War. Team War, you look for Ulysses. We saw him on a Skyline hardpoint yesterday when they were playing in the winter semifinals. And what ended up happening there was every single time he would either take the undermap route or just get through kitchen or play the hardpoint. But he was getting out on rotations. He was getting lost around P2. Very reminiscent of, well, maybe not from recent memory what Shotzi does on P2 on Skyline, but from what he was doing in stage 1, just being able to find one, get lost. The 8 or 9 spree that he had early on in the year. Very, very similar stuff to what Yuli is able to do on the map, and it's why I've enjoyed watching him so much. Same thing can be said, though, from the opposite side. Standy and Johnny, both of them have done such an impactful job around the map to where they are also the ones who are just pressing the issue to get out. Like, there's a lot of times where teams can get trapped or you just get lost. They will sit in a corner and they will wait. And that's kind of the difference between the two, where Yuli will just be in your face, ready for that next gunfight hit. Johnny and Standy, they'll get out, but they'll wait for the rest of the team to get there, and then they'll collapse on you. And that's the interesting dichotomy between the two sub-teams.
And that's kind of, you know, making those pro comparisons. In a sense, you think of the 2020 Dallas Empire roster, where who can Shotzi a 1-2 punch, and that's kind of what Omit brings to the table. Though it may not be as fast at times, like you said, they lie in wait, but you think you take care of one, the second flies around the corner. So the threat never quite averted for Omit, but that's the thing. They have to be able to play off of one another.
Do or tie time for Omit. Saw earlier on in the day, Rob was tweeting about they had those championship white jerseys on. Love that that's become a trend, especially at an Optic major. You gotta love that. But for Omit, their tournament run played really well through the upper bracket, took down their sister teams, sent Omit Brooklyn down to the lower bracket, continued on. 0-3 lost to the Mission Magpies. I know they'd love to rematch them in a grand final in a best of 7 on a day where maybe they're a bit more well rested, or maybe not. Depending on how much sleep they were able to get last night after their final matches went through in the losers round. But here on map 4 on Skyline, Team War 1 map away from a date with Mission Magpies in the grand finals. 2Real off the rip, has the AR out at this time. Standy and Johnny the first to fall.
Rock trying to see what he can do. Gets the player piano, so he's going to take that as the green light to go. Wrap spawns, flip out the map. It's kind of north and south spawns for the moment. The parallels come through. You win the mid-map battles for the moment, but until you can get Assault out of Cat, he's going to be a problem. It's 15 seconds cleanly, as well as the kill feed. Team War in a good spot.
Looking over the top for aerial support for 2Real. And he can just sit and wait. Omit are sending a lot of forces on that left side of the map. They want to make sure they lock down those P2 spawns, but Johnny getting a bit aggressive on the push should spawn them in that deep top right corner. And that is full map spread and full control from Omit.
Another good one out of Johnny. Gonna get the last bit of scrap time. You called it the underground route. Here he goes once again. Can he wreak havoc? His teammates find a kill. Standy playing for it. They know this is going to be the game plan. Yuli wants to make this magic happen. They've got the counter for the moment. They've slowed down his push.
He's forced to back off, but Standy waiting for the rope jump. Will finally collect Yuli. So the contestant player from Team War down low, now taken off the map. But across the catwalk, 2Real looks to be the first man in. Hit directly to the right. Takes the 50-50 gunfight, and it's 2-2 that's split around. Spawns still should be favoring Omit here on the backside. And as 4 will drop for Team War, it's another hit. A solo chow from Yuli. Not sure if I love that.
Taking up the map is exactly what Omit's doing, and isolating these 1v1s, winning them across the board as well. As quickly as you got out to 25 or so seconds on P1, you overtake it with 50 seconds of your own. Looking to be in response on P2. Another player trying to take a route, but you are getting gunned at this moment by Omit. You get the break for the last little bit of time. On the bottom side of things, you still have numbers and pressure, a rotation underway. You're trying to get in position to watch the kitchen cross as well. Though you get picked, you've got numbers at least here early.
That's what Team War wanted. They wanted to get the high ground, take a look over the P1 pool, be able to put Diamond Con or one of their ARs in a position to get the cross onto it. But Johnny, instead of the hard point with the SMG, has made quick work of most everybody on Team War. Still players now corralling around the point. Across the top cat, Yuli will go. Need to be wary of a flank starting to develop here. Spawns could flip very easily.
Can get messy. And Omit love that kind of play style, but Team War staying alive here. Getting an even quicker break where they couldn't onto P2, P3. They've got kitchen control. Everyone backed up grass side, submachine guns. Only responsibility just the shoulder. You peek around and watch the push through you, and you've got Standy crawling on the ground. Hill strike. Sandwiched in between a Johnny double. Every day of the week, you'll take that to re-break good from it.
You like that wrap out from Yuli as well, because this should allow him to maybe get some good timing up top on Arcides, but he's got 2 real on the help. So the map now going to be forced out. 4 bodies here from the side of Team War, pushing directly through the back line. They have yet to spot out Brack, and he might be able to make the hero play. Finds number 1. Second gunfight on the left-hand side, but Assault is there. Challenge around the back from Diamond.
You're hoping that buys enough time for your teammates to flip through top cat and stairs, and that's going to be the answer. Now you just need to find another player in time, get the clearance completely. Standy able to find it. Outside looking in is Team War.
Team War had the rotation. They made the initial break, but Omit bounced back almost instantaneously. Didn't take long for them to regain control of this map. 30-point advantage for Omit at the moment. Team War looking to break over the top.
Pacing that feels like it's a little out of hand for Team War, which is exactly what caters to Omit's game plan. It seems like they know what they want to do on this map, and knowing what to do is one thing, executing it is another. Omit GG, giving us a look at both.
Significant time being garnered on the 2 money hills from Omit. Just allowed them to jump out to this lead that we're seeing from them. Assault will be backed off by Johnny. Well-placed nade. 2-1 for Team War, but with 10 seconds left, all you need to do now is just try to play the top, get some power positions, allow your ARs to start frying on these exit kills from P4.
It was quiet for a moment. Route being taken by Arcides. He's been an AR that's really been aggressive at some moments. Doesn't quite pan out there, but you love the play just to throw some multi-dimensional looks. Another underground route being taken. Get aggressive if you're too real. Works out for you there, but you're still wondering where these next players are.
Johnny gets all the way through the bottom side of Piano. Somehow Arcides alive on side of the point. That allows Brack to actually find Assault. So the hill that was held down by Team War once again will flip to that pretty blue from Omit. 35 seconds of plenty of time to grab for either of these sides. Team War needs it bad though.
The catalyst, the subs, the one you look at for Omit to get things going early on. Is all blue. Very much favoring this team. 60-point lead. You have P2 rotation. You need to keep it. Scrap would be fantastic. A little cherry on top. A well-placed nade ringing through once again. You have kitchen control. You're pushing with pace. Omit.
Oh no, it's watching for you. And I thought for a moment that might have been the play call from Omit to just send 3 bodies through. Assault had a cheeky pixel peek in the back line. But Team War with numbers here on the point. Spawn's going to continue to be close, and now you have the drop down from Yuli, who finds Arcides and Brack on the 2-pinch. Now it's Johnny's turn up top, though, to try and retaliate against Team War. Still in the back line, you have 2 players here. It's going to be a split spawn out on the opposite side. Team War are losing numbers very quickly. Yuli will fall. Last player alive is going to be Diamond Con, and he is dead.
3 break. So good out of Omit. Better even than what Team War can show. They need to get back into this one. Standy snaps for a double. Why not? Yuli trying to do what he can on the other side of things. Sure, you're pairing for some, but the trade's not good enough. Gray time, not good enough. Team War need to get in.
Standing on the drop down, now 5 in a row. Little over halfway to a Hellstorm missile. Streak starting to build from Omit. With Team War collapsing on the back end of 20 seconds, this is time they are going to be oh so happy to grab. And as Standy finally falls, that will be a buzzkill for Team War. So now an opportunity to break down into P3. You've got numbers here early. Johnny forced to back off with 13 HP.
Just gonna watch from Jim side wisely. Regens lets his teammates get in position. Those ARs overlooking to barbecue side. You open up with the first. You try to chow fireplace for the second. Arcides will clean it up. A pinch developing underground, but Standy in a position to make the read. You're winning the gunfights on the front side.
And he's just laying down in a spot you don't expect, but because there's 2 players there, you get the read on it, and you can find the snap in timing. Arcides first up to the challenge, backs off of the AR, now has Brack for aerial support over the top, but it's Yuli who now picks up the AR, trying to contest on into the point. 3 versus 2, 1 player left, 2 real, trying to force the issue through middle map.
Plays bed, backs off. 1v1 versus Standy. He is taking that as they are gunning. The submachine guns continuously clearing the feed for Omit. No real answer on the other side of things. We said the pain point was going to be if the subs get out of sync for Team War. That is the case here for the moment.
Oh, it's an interesting flip out though. And Omit sent a lot of pressure to the backside of P4 to make sure they could hold things down. 2 Real, a double snapper. And now you can start watching over the hedges. The problem is, though, back 10 seconds, gonna go to Omit. Team War still down by a significant chunk of time.
Yeah, problem also being that they're about 200 points. A near 100-point lead here for Omit. They've done the work, simply put. Now they just cannot break down. They just need to finish this map strong, go force it to a map 5. And winning gunfights like that, I mean, surely you think they have the gumption to get it done. It's all going to be quick on the slide. What can he do? Buying time for his teammates, but you're getting gunned down before they can even get close.
It's just a duck chow, and with 47 HP, Yuli can't push down the staircase just yet, but he's got teammates helping in from the front, so this might give him a way to be able to break on in. 2 Real will slide down next. Arcades, head tap, gone. Brack also slide off. Close spawn, Standy close. Hedges push. Omit still in time.
Big 3 gunfights to be able to take for 2 Real just to play his life, and again, let his teammates get in from bedside there. 20 seconds to fight for, a little bit at a time. You can't win it all back here, so they just need to take the time they're given. Mid-map going to be very critical for them, as these first couple of hills, Omit have shown they can run away with. We kick off the third fifth rotation.
Arcades and Standy hold down P2. Yuli, just a hard gunfight to win if you're inside of the kitchen. You have to push through the back. It's the only play that you can make at this juncture. With Standy up on the top bed, finally getting taken out by 2 Real. This is going to give Team War an opportunity to take the top side of the map. Johnny in from behind. Now an opportunity to sit on time for Team War. But I don't know if it'll be enough.
Alex, it's 26 points for the win. You're only at the 150-point mark. Team War, like you said, they might not have what it takes here. Omit, whenever they want to collapse, they've been able to make it happen. 25 seconds and dwindling.
Diamond Con knocked off. Backside of bedroom. And Assault will fall. And that just might be enough to get him over the hurdle. Omit forcing a game 5 with their tournament lives on the line here. What better way for a loser's final to end than a potential game 5?
Even across the board, everyone for Omit showing up, trying to extend the series where they can. And that was AFP2 rotation as well. That could quickly fold if they're unaware of these gunfights and able to take them. But who is it? Again, the submachine guns, Arcades combining for 3. Just one player to take care of, and 2 Real. That will do it.
3 seconds left. Diamond Con can't get there on the contestation, so Omit, after losing the control, after fumbling towards the end of the search and destroy, come back to take their second hard point in this best of 5 series. Game 5 on a red card. Team War, no stranger.
I said it earlier on in the hard point, and I'll just say it again. I just think it's a testament to how this map went. Coming in with a game plan, one thing, executing it another, and then respawn. Omit have shown time and time again that they have the comms, the discipline, the pacing to know how to get things done. Standy, 22 non-traded up his 27. Arcades, another 27. Johnny, 27 as well. I mean, through and through, every column, they dominated. Of course, hill time, of course, slaying and pressure around the map. You look to it, it was a squeaky clean hard point. You give up 100-some odd points. Dominant. And even though it was dominant, sure, Team War had their moments, but the submachine guns outshined in that moment by the Omit.
Yeah. No, I mean, Omit just played from start to finish a well-coordinated, well-oiled game. Every break that they had, every rotation that they made, it just seemed like everybody was hitting the timings exactly when they wanted to. It wasn't like or Team War where they were kind of just straggling on the early P2. I hate to say it, but it felt like it was already kind of crumbling at the beginning when Yuli decided to make a solo push when he was last alive. Then took about another 5 to 10, maybe even 15 seconds for that next hit to get set up. But Johnny fries, Omit fries, but they needed to. They had to force the game 5, so I mean, I don't think anybody's shocked.
Not at all. And as we look to, in a moment, set our eyes to game 5. This weekend alone, Alex, it is Team War's 4th.
Oh, yeah.
Game 5, so no stranger to that. Omit trying to make a statement in map 4, and they do. But Team War done this song and dance before many a times in the last 2 days.
And that's what we had at the top of the show is the conversation point, right? It's like Team War, the reason that they have made it so far was because their search and destroys have been so good. So they've been tested many times in the game 5. Last night, again, it was a round 11 loss to Mission Magpies. That was the first time they obviously had lost a game 5 throughout the tournament, but they've been tested multiple times. And that's what you need as a team going throughout the weekend. You need to have that test to where you can just make sure you're pushing through. You have that in the back of your corner. You have that in the back of your mind. You've been there. You've done that. You want to have another rematch against Mission Magpies because you probably feel like you should have won that series last night. You're going to have an opportunity to go against them for 7 maps, but you need to take out Omit first. Same thing can be said from Omit. They got dropped to the lower bracket by the team in the grand final. So they also want the opportunity to right their wrongs. Both teams looking for a rematch in a best of 7.
And just to give a little caveat to the HP graph we saw, it was a 100-point run out of Omit to 40 points at the tail end of things, and that simply can't happen. No real way to doctor that up, and any other way, you're going to lose that 10 times out of 10, and they drop it there. No opportunity for a comeback. So you want a date, you want a rematch, you want to play a best of 7 series going forward in the grand finals. One more map will do it for us.
Red card, Search and Destroy. Team War playing their 4th Game 5 of the weekend. We'll see who takes it in one final moment of the losers finals after a short break. Two of the most evenly matched teams throughout the weekend. Team War complementing each other's playstyles so well. Omit on the opposite side, potentially a perfect counter to what Team War has as a roster. Both teams got knocked down to the lower bracket by Mission Magpies from the winner side of this Optic Texas Open. But now, one final map will decide who will find themselves in a rematch, who will take third place, and who will move on to a grand finals. First blood goes to Sandy. Omit will strike first.
I'm pushed up as well, though not far across the map. Omit not looking to back down, so it won't be an easy recovery. As they've applied pressure early, now they'll give the call, hey, man advantage, let's play smart, let's back off. Leave it up to Team War to make a play.
And you can see the back off from Omit. Bomb retrieved by Yuli. Objective still very much out towards the A site. Nobody spotted just yet. Johnny gunfight versus Yuli. Both will back off and weak. Arcades watches the cross through. So on the site, they are just stalled out. Yuli and DiamondCon last alive. Pinch coming in from Standy.
Here comes the collapse. Waiting to see if he can get any more info. Maybe not fully realizing both players are trapped on site. I'm not sure that Omit is privy to it. You know the bomb carrier is at least here, but lying in wait, you're going to be able to get the kill if you're Arcades. That'll be the cleanup. Get across the map quickly, get a first blood. Make Team War push back at you. Great first defensive hold.
No need to overchallenge if we get that first blood. Called to it. Passive play on defense. Don't throw anything to the opposite side. Full caution from Omit, but just aggressive enough to find the blood. Slow and steady here on a red card. Bomb being delivered to the north side of the map. Up into the courtyard. Team Omit look to push. Don't believe Standy spotted anything over middle map. DiamondCon weakened up again. Arcades on the stage with Johnny pushing close.
Ooh. Johnny doesn't take the bite, doesn't take the bait. He just waits to see if a mistake is made, an overstep. And great positioning. Now just trying to catch a good timing.
And he has Standy right behind him. So if that aggressive charge starts to push the back line of Team War and they are not ready for it very quickly, it could all crumble.
There it
Real
is.
spotted. There it is from Johnny. Jumps over the top. Now DiamondCon can't win the 1v1. Assault is there. Yuli looking. Knows Arcades on the back right-hand side. But up through the courtyard, still two players from Omit.
Assault finds some big kills. The re-wrap working through. Time dwindling. You've got about 20. Make that less to defuse the bomb. You've got a player on it. You're looking for the player hedges. You can't quite hop it for the moment. So Brack, they clean that up. They play in tandem. Good luck, have fun. Standy closing distance. Very well executed rounds on either side of the bomb from it.
I mean, once you get that far up the map and you still have all four players alive, and you have Johnny in a wonderful position to jump down and open things up with that first blood, you can just play back through middle. You know somebody's probably going to try and wrap on a contestation. That time it was Yuli. Brack read it well. And although Assault was able to find 2 consolation kills for it, unfortunately they weren't able to muster up the 2 versus 4 comeback and a retake on the site. So down early, 0-2, Team War. Back on the offense.
I think the comms early on, no reason to overheat. Don't play stupid. And keep it disciplined. That's what we've seen out of Omit. Heads up plays. Team War needing to make some adjustments here. Aggressive already through mid once again. I mean, Johnny and Sandy, good luck, have fun crossing them.
And the two of them enjoy playing together around the map so much.
And they just wait.
Complementary play style down to a T. Johnny should be spotted off. 2 reels on the hedges. Now it's a little jiggle chow from Johnny as he'll lay back down. No utility to throw. From the side of Team War at Johnny. And now Standy will hop up. It's a 2-man tandem. 2 real forced to back all the way off. Somehow keeps his life in tow, but they're still down a life.
And you're still in an aggressive spot, so sure you slip out to stage side, but Standy and Johnny have not moved. You'll challenge the P1, you'll shoulder, not get him on the retreat. On with the position to pinch, but there we go. That'll be the info on it. Brack gonna back up.
Through and through, being outplayed in these early rounds of search and destroy, but as soon as I say that, all of a sudden things turn wayward. 1 versus 2 from Yuli. Sniffs out 1. Shots off to the side. Can't isolate the 1v just yet.
Taking the deep, deep route, but when you go further back, Arcades going to best you there. Just no time, simply put, unless you can snap him when these two gunfights, which you're capable of. Not going to be given. Right now, I can't speak highly enough to, of course, the First Bloods. The time they're bleeding off the clock defensively. Yep. A 1v2 is absolutely on the cards for Yuli every day of the week. You got 15 seconds to do it.
The other thing they're doing well, while wasting that time, is just not giving anything to Team War. Like, they knew that Johnny was in the corner, but the early util usage over the top to try and weaken somebody up on the A site to get an early pick allowed him to just sit in the corner, and then Standy hops up for the challenge afterwards. So it's just those first small engagements that turn into just a turning stomach feeling, and it's just not fun for Team War. They are in the blender. But I thought finally they were going to be good for an opening pick. Instead, it's Yuli who's forced to back off, and Johnny stays alive. Another 4v3 for Omit.
The nade over the top. I mean, a wonderful first blood here, and you've had them all. Bomb working A. 2 players in the back lines. Johnny gets a second. It is crumbling, falling apart. No answer out of Team War.
And who will be your difference maker? The most that anybody has on the map right now is 2 kills from Team War. This is absolute class from Omit. On the opposite side, Johnny up close. Yuli a trade. The bomb is down at A, dude. What? You're not going to get across the map and find all 3 in time. I'm sorry. Good night.
Now Omit's just flying at you. All right. I'll say it. Through 4 rounds, I am stunned at the lack of pushback Team War has been able to show. I mean this in the highest of regards. It's discipline. There's no overheating. When you have the jurisdiction to, I mean, you're up 4 rounds to this point. You're submachine gun, Standy, Johnny combining for 10. You've got the green light. Just make it happen. But it looks so much better. I mean, again, not only do your stats, of course, look better, but it just looks so much better for your team.
Yeah.
As far as growth and maturity, to not overchallenge these moments. I love everything I'm seeing here from it.
Well, Team War just look disjointed. They so heavily in Search and Destroy rely on that isolated 1v or a first blood that they can get. But it's just double stacks every time from Omit that they can't get through. Bait and switch after bait and switch. Every single time. Stun check in. Through the front, they want to send 4 bodies, but Omit will also retaliate with 4 bodies in the same breath. Through the side door, Diamondcon finally opens up with the first blood here for Team War. Can you slide in to potentially find Johnny? No one's behind the bar. Pop-up though from Johnny. Turns back around. Finds the second. All of a sudden, I thought maybe it gives the side of Omit a chance. But Team War will respond, get their first round on the board. Now things can kind of relax, still tense, but a little bit of weight taken off the shoulders.
1-4. I mean, at this rate, anything looks better, but a 1-4 feeling better than a 5-0. As you get some kills on the board. Diamondcon, I think, gets a couple, his first couple at that. Yeah, he'll get 2 on the round, so that goose egg hard to sit on, and definitely feels better just to even get 1. So a little breath of relief for the moment. Now defensively, they got to string something together.
I was going to say, them being able to win that first round on offense is huge. Because it shows that that aggressive gameplay that they like to style themselves with still works. So a gut check feeling from Yuli all by himself on the B zone. Not going to give anything away just yet. Diamond should have the read that P4 is all the way out. Door's going to get open. RCXD shot. This is going to force Yuli to wrap all the way off. And unfortunately, it's Standy who gets the better of the timing this time through 3 versus 4. Omit numbers again.
And again, it's RCD deeper on the flank. I mean, he should just have a few, if not all 3, crosses line of sight. Doesn't get 1, but the intel given. All right, they're going to be able to pinch.
Wow.
Unfortunately, more bodies fall. Fortunately, bomb goes down. Clock working against Team War. Man advantage. They need to make something happen sooner than later.
Diamond played through Ticket. And that timing on the RCD flank doesn't come through. Johnny tries to get the best of the timing, but Standy now on the opposite side. Breaks the glass twice. We're up all the way out to the side of the pitch. 2 flooding in. Rack looks the wrong way. Timing from behind. All good, though. For Team War. 2 straight. The comeback is on.
Slow burn. Chip away. Team War probably not even nervous, down 0-4. Sure, it was convincing out of Omit, but we called to it. 4th map 5 this weekend. Omit's only been to 2. So can being tried and tested. Start to flip the script for Team War. Lots of work to do. They have dug themselves a hefty hole. But you execute both sides of the bomb, all of a sudden you start feeling pretty good.
Last time on offense, it was a hit towards the B site. Omit really had a full stack on the zone. It was a trade battle won by War. This time they'll go back to their default 2-2 split. One pushed up on the hedges. One plays deep over by the soccer goal in P2. The other just haphazard angles throughout the middle of the map and over by B. Standy, I can tell he's itching to get aggressive. He wants to get out. But the passive play that he likes to have might just work into his hands.
Ooh. You get back out, you try to chase, you want it so bad, and you get out with your life, so you back up to the safety of your teammates. Big first blood, Assault responds quickly. And that bomb, I mean, you've made noise. You have all of Omit here, so the call is going to be Diamondcon, put that bomb down.
But will the timings work out? Because if you are Team War, you do have two over by the pitch side, but you're going to have to collapse. And this very heavily relies on Diamondcon being able to stay alive while the reinforcements get in a good position. You planted the bomb for where you wanted it, but two players out by the stage. The fuse comes in. Diamondcon laying down. Has to turn back around. You have to check the bomb, Diamondcon! You have to check the bomb, Diamondcon! You have to check the bomb, Diamondcon!
Silence on the desk. From Ohio, I think I can almost hear the pit. And what that ninja defuse sounds like. Serious point. You gotta check the bomb.
And they did everything right. The play that they executed, send DC by himself all the way through the north side of the map, get it down, plant it in a spot where the retake will be plenty easy from Team War once they get into the position they need to. You find the first blood on the contestion through, you don't turn back around, and instead of it being 3-4, you are now down 5-2.
All the momentum shifted right back into Omit's hands. First blood going to be huge if you can get it for Omit. Anything that they do weaken the side of Team War. Gonna just favor their chances more and more to close this one out. It's a little bit more aggressive out of Team War. They're trying to tap into that gameplay. Passive out of Omit to start, seeing if anyone looks to overheat, but not gonna be given.
RC card taken care of. Omit very much looking to get aggressive. Under the A site. Directly through, though, is Johnny. Look to push back to middle map. And I wonder, after all the space that they took here, who's the first to fall? It's Standy. Numbers for Team War, something we haven't said much of all map.
Just no aim assist to the goal. You're gonna get one. Diamondcon will be quick on the trade. 20 seconds to work with. You're getting picked. This should be around for Team War here in a moment, and it is. 5-3 we go.
Good to see at least it doesn't put too much of a damper on their parade. Could have been a fourth straight round, now 3-5. Round by round, they have made a few small tweaks and adjustments to what they've wanted to do on their offensive and defensive attempts. So that time it's a defense that allows them to work a first pick onto Standy. They'll go back to an offense here. It was a feint last time to A. They like playing B heavy. Do they fall back to what's worked for them?
Time will tell. Clock dwindling, pressure on. Omit just need one more defensive round. RCs could get intel early, and he will with the shots ringing out. So you still try to work through B side, paying respect to that. The submachine gun, Johnny on the route. 1v1 versus Assault towards the bottom side of things here in a moment.
I think you and I were both privy to the flank that Johnny wanted to develop, but he thinks wiser of it. Smart play. If you have Assault there for a contested spot, the round becomes that much easier to win for Team War. 2 real. Trophy down. Bomb. Should be able to get planted. Long nade onto Arsenies from Diamondcon. 4 versus 3 trade from Johnny.
Johnny strikes through the back, so you have to turn heads. All of a sudden, Yuli has to go and hunt this player down, has to find him. He's trying to regroup, but Diamondcon works a pick. 3 versus 2. You've spread the map again.
You make up for your efforts on the ninja defuse that came through. You didn't check the bomb. You're on 3 in a row at up to 9 and 6. But Johnny's got behind you. Top zone control on the police car. Somehow stays alive, and the trophy system directly below is going to help Diamondcon stay alive. 2 versus 2 from the back line. Yuli is there. Long range. He can play the retake. 17 seconds for Brack.
You've got less than 10 to make the defuse player playing bomb. You've got Yuli playing deep. This should be the round, barring an absolute breakdown. Brack should get picked here.
And he does. Staying alive in map 5. Team War. Go 2-1-2 versus Omit. Round 5. Still very much on the cards. But Team War need one more defense to make it happen.
4-0 up until this point. 4-1 in response. 2 rounds from the win, 1 from the round 11. The ebb and flow of momentum. I don't want to say nerves, but Omit feeling a little bit of the pressure. Team War's bounced back from. You thought maybe the Ninja Fuse takes the wind out of the sails, but they rally back just as fiercely as it silenced the start.
3-6 in a slow game 5 for the world champion Arcades. But Johnny will open up the door. They've got 2 bodies on the side here. Stun check. Should find one over on the right-hand side. Shots are good in from Johnny. First blood to Omit.
They've got side control. You've got Yuli lying in wait though, so he can play spoilers here. Oh my god, you do not finish the kill. Assault gets it. Standy on the trade. Alex, this could be it.
1 versus 3. Tournament lives on the line. Diamondcon. You lost the round beforehand. A miracle it would take to re-break this site. At least the bomb hasn't gone down yet. So the contestant timer is not there, but Brack on the heady will find the lonely and waiting Diamondcon. Omit GG 6-4 in the search and destroy will push themselves to the grand finals. Team War eliminated in Dallas.
Round 10, what do? Put it in the hands of your submachine gun players. Johnny gets in, Yuli doesn't finish his food. Sandy on the trades. The bread and butter duo make it happen once again for Omit.
You fall from the top bracket. You think that you probably should have won the series against Mission Magpies, whether it was being tired in the venue last night, whether it was just maybe a few rounds or a few plays within that final search and destroy went wrong. That series against the Magpies last night, it should have been the precursor for what we could have seen in a grand final. Instead, it was a 3-0 from Magpies against Omit, which was our preview of what we'll see in a best of 7 for our grand finals. But take nothing away from either of these two teams. Team War played a phenomenal weekend of Call of Duty, but Omit on the opposite side, they have made a pretty lengthy losers bracket run at this point. They have played tons of matches, full momentum riding in this series. Now they play a Mission Magpies roster who is yet to play a single map of COD, at least in a tournament setting, throughout the entirety of Sunday. Might just be the catalyst that they need, but my lord. Congratulations to Omit, I must say.
First Blood, who'd have thought? First 4 rounds tells the story. And even, right, you mount the comeback. Talk about it in respawns. It's just applicable across all maps, modes. Doesn't matter. You dig a hole, and it takes beyond the best of the best to get out of that, let alone 4 rounds. Yep. It feels like map 1. You dig a hole, down 100 points. You've already hit 200 for Omit. You try to mount the comeback. You just run out of room. Simply put, run out of area to kind of expand, capitalize on the good plays you are making in the late portions of the search and destroy. The Ninja Defuse round 7. Ninja Defuse heard around the world, and I mean that just had to feel amazing. Sure, you rip off 2 straight if you're Team War, but the deflation that probably came for a moment on the back end of that, just to put them at map point. I mean, a hell of a series, Alex.
Team War will bow out third. Will place top 3 at the first open LAN of the year in the Black Ops 6 season. Omit moving on for Mission Magpies in the grand finals. Take a look at the overall bracket real quick once more. You can see throughout the winners bracket, Cabals and Mission Magpies. Team War played both of those very close series all the way to a game 5. And of course, in the losers finals, we get back to the map of a red card search and destroy that saw them bow to the lower bracket last night. And here on today, it just was not enough for them to take on this Omit roster. The hard points might have been what their Achilles heel was, but that red card search and destroy, and just quite literally a 180 turn from Diamondcon that does not come to fruition.